in the river or washing at the river or collecting water. Friends, away, leave the stream. Yes, leave the stream. Crowds are already on the road. Leave Oyer town. Leave the riverside. Friends, leave the riverside. Travelers, quickly abandon Oyer town.
Trade. Many were killed when the slave raiders attacked. After torturing his father to death in front of him, Venture Smith was marched 400 miles to the coast.
I was obliged to carry on my head a large flat stone weighing 25 pounds. These burdens were very grievous to me, being only about 6.5 years old.
Children were also tricked into slavery.
There came a merchant who told me that if I would go with him, I should see houses with wings walk upon the water, and should also see the white folks, and he would bring me safe back again soon.
James Ukasa was sold for $50, just one of 1,000 slaves a week shipped in the 1720s to satisfy the demand and greed of white slavers.
Any market that would gobble up those victims promotes that kind of violence and that kind of a society that tolerates enslavement. And of course, its even most worst dimension, which is the killing of a lot of people that were never enslaved. They were just killed in battle. They were killed on raids. They were killed because of the famines that happened after the destruction of food crops and so on. So that besides the slaves themselves, the real cost is the tremendous destruction that was associated with enslavement.
The fact that areas were desolated or depopulated, the fact that the most active part of the population was being sent out, was not worrying at all to those involved in the trade. So far as they were concerned, it was profitable business, and that was all that mattered at that time of the trade. They were not worried at all that it was a period of social mistrust, fear, suspicion, insecurity. All they wanted was that they wanted to sell these slaves because of the money and the profit they would make from the trade.
Some ask how Africans could sell Africans. It's not a question people in those days would have understood.
You didn't have a concept of Africa among the people who were involved in the slave trade and so on. The issue of being black was not an issue. I mean, the issue about being black or being white has become an issue precisely for a number of historical reasons. And one of the main historical reasons has to do with the inequality that has come about because of the slave trade. The issue for Africans was not whether we were all black. Being black was normal. The point is that this is a different kind of person from you, and you find some rationale why you can enslave them, why you can use them, profit from them.
Kwame Nchi XII is paramount chief of the Assans. "200 years ago, his ancestors fought wars, taking captives in huge numbers. Black slave traders would congregate at his capital, Asin Manso.
What I learned from my ancestors or my predecessors was that this place was a slave market. Here became the center or the last stop where they have plenty of water, plenty of land to bury their dead, and they fatten them here and sell them, perhaps a day's walk to Cape Coast. That's about 36 kilometers, and they can make it in a day.
But not everyone made it to the coast. And given the fortunes of war, slave raiders themselves could be enslaved.
So what this means to me is this, that it could be, and it's most probable, that some of my own ancestors even might have been taken as captives. You see, and they are here. The river flows.
Once a year, the Assens hold a ceremony to remember the slaves who washed in their river before being sold in their market. Some of them slaves the Assens themselves had captured. The slave raiders' descendants, the warriors and their chiefs, walk along the old slave route through the slave graveyard.
We were warriors from Ashanti, and we came down to fight. Ashanti wanted to conquer the whole horizon. They fought wars to get kingdoms. Slave was a secondary matter. That wasn't the original idea.
They pour a libation to the gods, praying for the souls of the slaves. Their prayers do not mention the Assens' role in the trade. Even now, the chief is sensitive about his people's responsibility.
We were warriors, raiding for our overlord, i.e. the Asatehene. And we were looking for kingdom. So we were actually fighting. We weren't looking for slaves then. But I said, it so happened that we had them on our hands. So, well, I was okay. I'm all right with them. I need Jamaican rum, I need sugar, I need bananas. Let me take them away.
But it wasn't just rum, sugar, and bananas. Slaves were also sold for guns, cannon, and gunpowder. We will return to History Undercover in a moment.